Sacrament by Clive Barker is a book that you'll either love or you will hate it. This is the copy I've read, it's a translation, and I read this for Monsterathon 2.0. There is a TBR video, and there will also be a wrap-up at the end of the month. So why do I think that Sacrament is a book that you either love or hate? Clive Barker is a renowned horror and dark fantasy author, but Sacrament is more like a magical realism novel instead of a clear-cut horror or a dark fantasy slash horror novel like his previous works. It's similar to what Jonathan Carroll was doing in his books in a way, but it's got all the Clive Barker trademarks. As I've said in my How to Start Reading Clive Barker videos, Clive Barker's novels are more about some common themes instead of a common style or a common genre. So what Sacrament is about? Sacrament is about Will, who is a gay British photographer. He is photographing wildlife, and he is well known for having books of animals dying or suffering, and also known for photographing the last of species, endangered species, etc. He's on a mission on Alaska, I think, and he's attacked by a polar bear, and that attack puts him into a coma. So in a weird way, it's a known voices novel because Clive Barker is also a British artist. He's an author, a director, and an illustrator. He is also homosexual and actually came out right before this book was published, that in 1996. And he also fell in a coma, well, many years after he published the book. And it was not because of a bear attacked him, but because he went to the dentist. Go figure. Will, as he is in a coma, he returns to his childhood memories, and we see a very miserable childhood because his older brother died. His mother can't cope with it, and she is seeking psychiatric help. She's taking pills, and she's a mess. His father is very distant. He's an academic, a philosopher, and they all move into a small town. And there, in a strange building outside the town, he meets a mysterious couple, Jacob Steep and Rosa McGee, and something about them is very off. I mean, they don't date, among other things. And Steep really enjoys killing. He really enjoys killing animals, and not only that, and he takes extra pleasure from killing the last of a species. So he takes Will under his arms, they go on a pilgrimage, and he tries to train him because Will has some psychic powers, and they bond this way. Will has an opportunity to see some of his memories, and they are bonded for life by that. And also Will is born into another entity, a spirit known as Lord Fox. And Will comes out of the coma, as he recalls that, and he's trying to get back into his life in San Francisco. But this life ain't no normal life, as this recording is not a normal recording because my sound died after this part, so I have to redo it. The life of being a YouTuber. We're in the mid-90s in San Francisco, and when we once have a very vibrant and alive gay community, now we have a lot of deaths because of the HIV pandemic, and Will has to deal with his ex dying from HIV. So we have some slice of life stuff coming in, along with quite a few weird stuff happening to Will as he goes out of the coma, and as Lord Fox is still with him. But things are kicked into high gear once Jacob and Rosa decide to come after William, or Will as he prefers to be called. In order to do that, they return to Will's small town that they first met, and they force him to return to in order to deal with them, as well as, well, to deal with Jacob, basically, because there is still this link that is bothering Jacob a lot, and he has to find out what these people are. And we're about halfway the book, and I'll just stop here without spoiling anything else. Yeah, this book is more about themes than about plot. You can guess that by my description. There are some things that don't quite fit. And you know what, that's Clive Barker for you. His plots are never too tight. It's more about stuff happening, new elements being introduced, things revealed, new mysteries posed, and it's more about exploring jungle that has sprouted out of his very fertile imagination. Here it's Clive Barker trying to write about a lot of themes. He tries to write about environmentalism because it's about animal extinction by the hands of man. Jacob is the man in this case, and it is juxtaposed with the extinction of the gay community that Clive Barker used to live in San Francisco. And also we have the theme of the relationships between men and women, mostly explored through Jacob and Rosa, who are the most toxic stereotype of their respective gender. Another very important theme that we see in this book is the theme of death, and also in the background or towards the end of the book, religion comes into play quite a lot, but not religion as in one specific religion. No, it's the theme of religion, and the book is called Sacrament, so that should give you a hint. But you know what, I felt that these themes are very loosely tied together. The story just hops from one to the next, and it feels very dreamlike, but that's a Clive Barker way of writing, to be honest. And there are some aspects of this book, like Will's telepathy, that are never quite explored, at least not fully. They're important to the plot, but the plot is very slim. As always, his writing is amazing. He has this ability to give you all those amazing visuals, and his prose is beautiful. It's never too verbose, it's never lean, but it works, it's just beautiful, and you have some amazing similes and metaphors in there that are just great. Alright, the characters are not that deep, but you can empathize with them, you can identify with how they feel. You can't always quite understand why they act the way they act, but that's Clive Barker for you. That's something you accept when you read a Clive Barker novel. His characters will do some things that will make little sense. However, the best part of the book, in my opinion, are the couple, Jacob and Rosa, and they're Clive Barker monsters, and Clive Barker monsters are amazing. I thought, reading this book, that Clive Barker always had monsters of a very deep gothic nature. They are cursed beings with flaws, fatal flaws, and they act, according to them, incapable of changing course. And those two, they fit the mold. However, Clive Barker never ever romanticizes these gothic elements. I mean, in Hellbound Heart, there's nothing romantic. Here, there's nothing romantic about them. In The Great and Secret Soul, there's nothing romantic about the villain. No, it's not. Instead of romanticism, he goes for vulgarity. He goes for bodily fluids and body horror. And here, if you're squeamish, I have to tell you that there is no too much blood, no gory details. You'll escape that. It's not a horror novel at all. But you know, there are some sex and other bodily fluids thrown in here and there, because it's Clive fucking Barker. You should expect that when you open one of his books. You know there will be bodily fluids and sex, and probably gore. But here the gore is very little. And the most interesting part in the novel, what kept me turning page after page after page, was that I was trying to find out what the hell was this couple. And I really liked the explanation a lot. And actually it's something that is very well explored in this book, even though it's mentioned in passing. It's revealed what they are, and it makes sense. It has been built throughout the book, so I really like that. And overall, I think it's a book that Clive Barker fans may or may not like. If you're reading Clive Barker for his horror bits, for the gory bits, you'll be disappointed. If you read Clive Barker for his imagination, his writing, and his unique way of tackling themes, then go along, you may like it. It's not his best work, and it's not the book I would start reading Clive Barker with. But if you are squeamish and you want to read a Clive Barker book, yes, this is the book for you. So that was my review of Sacrament by Clive Barker. If you've read this book, please leave a comment with your opinion about it, if you liked it or not. if you agree or disagree with this video. And as always, press the like button, subscribe for more book reviews and horror stuff, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.